Off to Newark Airport for my flight to Seattle, Washington, which is going to be my first work trip flight since the beginning of the pandemic. So, should be interesting. Looks like the flight's not completely full, and right now at least there's an open seat in the middle next to me, which I'm pretty happy about. So we'll see how that goes. See how the airport is right now. A lot of horror stories for summer travel right now with flight cancellations and delays and massive lines and everything. So I'm hoping, domestic flight on a Sunday night won't be too bad, but I mean, it's probably not going to be great. It's, later in the day, so things could be delayed and stacked up from that. And it's also the time that a lot of international flights are probably, getting ready to leave too. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully get out on time and everything. It's a pretty late arrival time. I land a little after 10, and then I'm actually going out to Bellevue, which is about a 20-30 minute drive from the airport. And I don't really want to be getting there, after midnight or something. So see how it all goes. Hopefully I'll have time at the airport for a quick bite too. So I specifically brought the Model Y today for this trip, and booked a parking spot in the slightly further, non-daily parking lot at Newark. Normally when I'm going for work, I end up just doing the daily parking because it's much more convenient and not that much more expensive. But I wanted to actually be able to sit in charge and just test that out. So ended up making a reservation for P4 parking, which is the more long-term one. So there's supposed to be, I think, about 6 or 8 charge point chargers there, and then a bunch of wall outlets for trickle charging. And since I'm gone for a little over 3 days, that would be fine for me too. So see what's actually available. Brought the Model Y instead of the 3 because hopefully we will have sold the 3 and it will be picked up this week while I'm actually gone. So I'm working with Vroom right now on that deal, and should be taken care of relatively soon. Been there a few times now, actually more than a few, probably a dozen or so. This is the first time I'm actually going to Bellevue, which is just across Lake Washington from Seattle proper. And so I'm excited to check that out a little bit. Of course, it being Seattle, gotta check out the coffee. Looks like there's a brewery fairly close by with a nice outside, and the weather's actually supposed to be really nice while I'm there, so I'm certainly going to try to make my way over there. And then sushi is the other must-have while out there, so I might be having sushi all 3 days. Who knows? We'll see. Definitely, I already have reservations with my family members who are there, and we're meeting at a place that's got sushi, so certainly we'll be partaking in that. Look at this charging here. This is maybe the coolest collection of electric cars I've seen. So, a ton of Teslas, of course. Then a Chevy Bolt. Look at this one. Beautiful color and those brakes. You've got a Leaf. Yeah. Ooh, an Audi e-tron, second time I've seen one. And then look at this. First time I've ever seen a Rivian truck, R1T. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Tunnel. Not actually that huge. Look at this one, a nice wrap on this one. All right, I hope that this is recording me, but oh well. Look at the Rivian, just awesome. Alright, well I'm here in beautiful Bellevue, Washington, right in the outskirts of Seattle. Or maybe Seattle would say they're in the outskirts of Bellevue, who knows? I don't know if there's a big rivalry here or not. But first time here, pretty cool. It's super late at night for me right now, so I will probably enjoy this room and the view and everything else later. And for now, it's about time for this. Alright, I'm out for my morning run. First time running in Bellevue. Very nice. And a nice residential street that goes by the lake here. A little view of downtown Seattle and the mountains out there. And even sort of got the sunrise. Very nice so far. Very residential here. Very Pacific
Very Pacific Northwest feeling here. It was like ET ride. Yeah, I always like to go out for a run. Definitely the day after, longer flight. Wasn't exactly a red eye, but considering I got to bed at what was probably like 3 my time, it's nice to get out and stretch the legs and kind of kickstart the body clock. So, especially with work coming up too, it's always nice to be able to do this beforehand, just to get ready for the day. Seattle back there, hard to see. And then the mountains were out before, but we've got a little bit hazy now. Can't really see it much now. You just see Mount Rainier back there through the trees. Got this cool downtown Bellevue Park. Picked up my breakfast from Top Pot Donuts, which is a local chain that I had a bunch of times in Seattle, but first time out here in Bellevue. Have to see how it compares. Got a nice oat milk cold brew. Ready to start my day. All right, let's try. Yeah, every bit as good as the Seattle one. I'm gonna have that sugar rush for my meetings now. Nice. All right, and this one is the maple glazed old fashioned, because I'm an old fashioned kind of guy. Ooh, very mapley. Nice and sweet. I feel like there's a little bit of salt in there. Love it. Day 2 here in Bellevue, and for breakfast I went to Cafe Pogacha, which is a Croatian type of bread. And so they make all of their breakfast sandwiches on this special kind of flatbread. Looks delicious. Got some egg, cheese, and avocado. Let's see. Quite good. Nice and cheesy. Here over on what is called the east side of Lake Washington, and this is the 520 bridge that's relatively new, a couple of years, that heads over toward Seattle. There used to be an eagle that lived here. I remember I had a Twitter account, but I see a couple of pigeons, so there can't be an eagle living here nearby anymore. This is pretty cool. They have nice bike and running path along the side of the bridge. So I'm going to take this all the way over to Seattle over there. I don't have time to do that today, but I wanted to check this out. Very cool. This is a floating pontoon bridge. It's originally built in 1921 and was rebuilt in 1963 as a permanent bridge, and then replaced again in 1989. This is something about more recent, but I know that there was a lot of work that was done on this. So the reason that they did a floating bridge is that this lake is 200 feet deep, and the lake bed is very soft soil, so traditional bridge piers would be difficult and costly. That's interesting. You can, it's a pretty simple bridge, but you can certainly feel a little bit of a sway here as the trucks and stuff go by. And so they've got these hollow concrete pontoons here on the bridge. Yeah, there you go. I feel like I'm in the bus going. Very cool. This is a disc can. Each individual pontoon is the same weight as 23 737s. time to head back to Bellevue. Alright, time to head back home. Not quite as exciting charging situation here today. It's all Teslas. It's cheap. And the Leaf that was there when I left. Oh no, and a Polestar. Alright, moderately exciting, but no Rivian this time. This nice wrapped Tesla's still here too. Very nice to have a charger here. Came back to a fully charged car, was able to get the cabin cooled down while I was walking back from the terminal, and now go home on a completely full charge. 22 total kilowatt hours of energy. If I had realized how convenient this would be, I wouldn't have fully charged the night before I came here at home. Oh well, now I know. Alright, so I'm heading back home now. It was a good trip, went by really fast. It was 3 days total. Honestly, I can barely put together a thought right now, I'm exhausted. So took the red eye, I think I left Seattle at 10:30 p.m. Pacific time, and landed here just before 7 Eastern time. And you know, it's a relatively short flight. I think it was only about 5.5 hours, if any of that math makes any sense. Like time actually up in the air. So by the time we actually took off and they turned the lights off and people stopped moving around and the person behind me stopped kicking my seat every 2 seconds, it was only about 5 hours total. So my watch at least is saying that I got just under 5 hours of total sleep time, but it was all light sleep, no deep or like REM sleep. So it's gonna be a fun day. Hoping I can get a nap in somewhere. Gonna miss that Seattle coffee today. Although Bellevue had some decent options, but I think honestly I'm probably gonna get just as good coffee at home. So I've got a little bit of traffic here, and autopilot is certainly helping me out here.
Elon, take the wheel. So I'll get home soon. Get back to regular life again. So I hope that was an interesting change of pace. Now that feeling a little bit more comfortable traveling. This was the first work trip for the last 2.5, 3 years. So it was nice to be able to do that. And I think probably just first of many now. Things are going to start opening back up again. So hopefully get a couple more of these types of trips in this year. Definitely more in the future. We've got a big family trip coming up in about a month to Scandinavia and Germany. So I'm try to do a little bit more travel vlogging, I guess, for those. In addition to the Tesla videos. So if you enjoyed this, please do give a like and subscribe. It's helping a lot. I'm still just doing this for fun and enjoying seeing the comments and reactions and everything from people that have been finding this interesting or funny, maybe. I don't know. So I would like to keep doing it. So any way you can help out, it would be great. Other than that, I'm gonna go focus on getting home safe now and probably falling asleep the second I do. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye.